As I sat in the cold, sterile police detention room, I couldn't help but feel a sense of joy creeping up inside me. Tears welled up in my eyes, but these were not tears of sadness or remorse. They were tears of satisfaction, of sweet revenge. The detective sitting across from me noticed the subtle change in my countenance, the gleam in my eyes, and he knew there was more to my story than met the eye. Let me take you back to when it all began. I was a young and naive nurse, fresh out of nursing school when I first laid eyes on Dom. He was charming, confident, and utterly irresistible. I fell head over heels for him, unaware of his reputation as a chronic womanizer. Little did I know, I was just another conquest for him, a fleeting moment in his endless string of affairs. Our relationship blossomed, or so I thought. But as time went on, Dom grew distant and cold. One day, I visited him unannounced, but I met the shock of my life. Another girl in panties making him dinner. At first, he avoided me from entering his kitchen. The girl, on hearing my voice, probably came out to find out who I was. But the bastard introduced me as his sister. The girl hugged me and introduced herself as Dom's fiancée. I couldn't withstand it. I had to run off. He came after me. I was expecting him to beg for forgiveness and to tell me it is not what I thought it was. Instead, he stood his ground that I have no right to visit him unannounced. For that very reason, he broke up with me. He dumped me without a second thought, leaving me shattered and broken. The pain was unbearable, and I swore to myself that I would make him pay for the pain he had caused me. 2 weeks after our breakup, fate played its wicked hand. Dom was involved in a terrible accident that claimed the life of the girl he was going home with that night. As fate would have it, he was rushed to the very hospital where I worked, his life hanging in the balance. It was a twist of fate that placed his life in my hands, and I knew I had to seize the opportunity. Night after night, I tended to Dom's every need, wearing a facade of compassion and care. The perfect revenge plan was brewing in my mind, and I meticulously executed it, waiting for the opportune moment. When the time was right, I administered a deadly cocktail of drugs, ensuring that he would never hurt another innocent soul again. I took my revenge, and for the other victims in his web of deception too. The news of Dom's sudden death shocked everyone. The police were called, and an autopsy was performed to determine the cause. The evidence pointed to a drug overdose, but the truth was far more sinister. I had carefully orchestrated his demise, and the other nurses on duty that night unknowingly became pawns in my plan. The police, suspicious of the circumstances surrounding Dom's death, detained all the nurses on duty that night for questioning. I watched as my colleagues, innocent and unaware, faced the scrutiny of the law. The weight of guilt should have burdened me, but instead, it fueled my joy. I relished in the knowledge that they were paying the price for Dom's sins. As the detective prodded me further, he knew I held the key to unraveling the mystery. And so, I confessed. I revealed the truth about my relationship with Dom, the pain he had inflicted upon me, and my ultimate act of revenge. The court found me guilty of his murder, sentencing me to life imprisonment. But at that moment, as the gavel struck, I felt a sense of triumph, for I had executed my revenge upon the man who had toyed with my heart.